All right, guys, so we're back here. We just finished training today, Friday. Really nice day outside today, so we took some time to be able to sharpen up our boxing skills. I'm here with JB and our trainer, Lionel.
How you guys doing, man? Sorry about that. I thought you guys were going to introduce me last. I'm Lionel Tavares. I've been on the show plenty of times. My channel's a Sabbath at midnight. Just out here having an early morning workout. Got these guys sparring today, getting them a little bit of contact. Getting them prepared for real life situations pretty much. I think it's very important, like we said many times, that self-defense it should be just as important as brushing your teeth and taking a shower, in my opinion.
There you go.
But good morning.
And after Lionel punches you in the mouth a couple times, it's a good morning.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. So today we did some sparring. It's very, a lot of cardio, and it's very important to continue to sharpen up your skills. So anyway, so today we wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in the U.S. today. So we do have the president now. He was in North Carolina, Asheville, and he also is going to be visiting the fire-stricken areas, which we were at a couple days ago, JB and I. We did a lot of good content out there, so if you haven't had the chance, please go and watch our videos. JB's channel, Jeremiah Bade, and my channel. Go back and watch those videos. I think it has a lot of good footage that you can check out. Boots on the ground content for you guys. And so, but yeah, today Mr. Trump is out there looking at all the damage, assessing all the damage, and he actually is thinking of getting rid of FEMA. And he wants the states to be able to take care of their own natural disasters. What are your opinions on that, JB?
I think it's great. I think the states should take care of themselves. And as we saw in North Carolina, there was allegations that FEMA was taking generators, food, allegations, allegedly. But people that we talked to, because we were in North Carolina talking to the storm victims, we walked the cities there in the rubble. It was horrible. They did not speak highly of FEMA. We didn't see much of FEMA. Anybody that we talked to about FEMA had nothing but a negative response about them. So it's just more bureaucracy, more government, get them out of the way. We're wasting a crap load of money with them. They failed at their job. Just like our governor here, Newsom, has failed. And I know you're not a big fan of Governor Newsom.
I don't even like you even saying the N-word around me, and that word is Newsom. I can't stand that guy. He reminds me a lot of Trudy. He's like the same person almost, I would say. But I don't know how many years he's been governor now. 9 years, right? He's been the governor for
long time. I
can't wait till he gets out so we can stop saying the N-word so much. But yeah, there's a lot of bad things that are going on right now, especially in California. I mean,
what do you think about Trump coming out today? It gives people, I guess, a little bit of hope. But
I mean, it's a lot better than what Newsom's doing.
Yeah,
it's a lot better than shaking shoulders in front of a fire. So I really do think Trump actually goes out and does what he says. I mean, the first day in office, he put the table down in front of the inauguration and signed everything. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, he's not going to do that. The presidents never keep their promises." Well, we already have over 1,000 deportations already, in my opinion.
And some very, very bad people. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah. Some of the people deported right now, these people did very bad things to little kids. They did very bad things to women. They took lives, brought in drugs, brought in fentanyl. These are people that are walking right past you and I today that have some very, very bad intentions here to do very bad things to your family. And we just had a person that lost her life down in El Centro, 97 miles from where we're making this video right now. A Canadian tourist got shot twice. He's in the hospital recovering. So this stuff has got to come to an end. It's very demonic, and I think Lionel would agree, and I'm sure Enrique would agree too. These are spiritual times, and anybody that thinks that this is not, you are not paying attention to what is going on. And I would not get complacent. Yes, Trump is in. There's a lot of enthusiasm, but there is so much that is going to happen in the next 12 to 18 months. It's going to make your head spin.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that it's very important that this country refreshes. The fact that they are getting rid of a lot of these bad actors, I don't know why the previous administration allowed this to happen. These people were within our communities, and they had the ability to be able to do harm to the citizens here in the United States. So for this to finally happen, I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air for everybody, and people are going to be able to sleep better at night knowing that this current administration and all of these people from the Border Patrol are actually doing their job now. It seems like now they just flipped the switch, and so what's going to end up happening is a lot of these people are going to go back to their home countries, and they're going to have to start taking care of them. They're going to have to start putting their own resources to making sure that these people go to jail and serve their time instead of the United States footing the bill.
Yep. Yep. And I would say, to add to that, this guy already, Mr. T, has done more in 5 days than the last administration has done in 4 years. It's not even close. He's already surpassed it. Lionel.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, but I have my own opinions. I like Trump. He's a very complex character. He's a very complex person, so I pray for him. But some of the things around him I don't like. For example, I don't like how Elon Musk is pushing nanotechnology, mRNA vaccine shots. That's something you should definitely look out for, because, like I said, at the end of the day, he says it's a spiritual battle. At the end of the day, we could, have men that try their best to help us, but again, at the end of the day, they're just men. Okay, no one could truly save the earth, only but Jesus, in my opinion, God. So, but you still got to stay in the spirit. You got to have discernment, and there's nothing wrong with praying for Trump and hoping he's a good person. A lot of people like to you can't trust any politician. Well, at least from what I see from him, there's enough from him for me to give him a chance, in my personal opinion.
And you would say if we don't support him,
if everybody,
if we wish him nothing but harm and failure, then we're all going to fail.
And that can go for every election. Like everyone. At some point, you have to attach to some of the good things. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, for example, it could have been anybody. Let's say it wasn't Trump talking about deportation, this and that. It could have been anybody saying it. If Arnold Schwarzenegger said that and ran for president, I vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger. It had nothing to do with him. It has to do with his policies.
Right.
Period.
Is it good for America or is it bad for America?
Yeah.
This stuff is good. So I'm going to support anything that's good for America, no matter who is saying it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's very important for the U.S. to be able to protect its assets and its resources. And that's the reason why I think it's a good idea for them to be able to allow the states to be able to take care of their own natural disasters, because with FEMA, you don't know, there's a lot of fishy business going on there. You kept hearing stories about them demolishing good homes around the area of these areas that were impacted by the wildfires or the natural disasters, right? And so then there's talk of them, getting certain things like certain generators and hiding them from people and so forth. And you heard a lot of these stories.
Also, if you had certain political beliefs, they were told not to go to your house to help you.
Yeah.
That's BS.
For the fire for North Carolina.
Yeah. For both? For both.
The flood in North Carolina. If you had certain political conservative beliefs, they had a sign in front of your house. You were told not to go to that house.
Wasn't there also some weird stuff on the fire that only the houses that burn with the smart meter ones?
Yeah, you were talking about
the cars are melted, but the trees are still intact. That's kind of weird.
When we were there, it was so hot that the engine blocks had completely melted from a wildfire. I mean, and it's weird because it'd be 5 burnt houses and then 5 houses, nothing. 20 burnt houses, 10 houses across the street, nothing. Palm trees, mailboxes out front, everything's fine. Again, think about it as you want to. You can dissect it how you want. We were there. We're just saying what we saw. I'm not a scientist.
I think it's common sense.
Yeah, I'm not an engineer. So, I mean, you can dissect it and come to your own conclusion. But, Enrique.
Yeah, no, actually, I am going to do a video here soon, next couple of days, regarding that situation. I am doing a lot of research on the smart meter technology and also other different factors that might have caused these wildfires. Obviously, we don't know what it is yet, but a lot of people can make their own conclusions, especially when you're out there in person and you're actually touring these areas. If you get enough of exposure to these different neighborhoods, then you can start making your own conclusions, right? So I'm pretty sure that a lot of the first responders, a lot of the people that have been out there frequently, they can also come up with their own conclusions, and then that's where the rumors spread. But in reality, we won't know until their investigators find out, and what is it that they want to actually allow the public to know, because one thing is for them to disseminate that information to the public, but we don't know if that's actually the reality of the situation, right?
My question is to Lionel and you is, how much is this going to cost? We're talking $300 billion possibly now. Where is this money going to come from? How are we we're $36.2 trillion in debt. Trump has got so much on his plate right now to deal with. He's dealing with North Carolina today. I think that's going to be 50 to 75 billion. 275 to 300 billion out here. We're 36.2 trillion in debt. Social Security is going to be bankrupted in about 10 years. Where is this all going to come from, and what is this going to do to the quality of life here in America as your dollar buys less and less and less?
I think that's going to be going towards, the further we go into the future, that's going to get closer and closer. When stuff like that happens, you're going to have to make a new currency. It'll probably be digital, and that's when your life is completely taken over. Once everything goes digital, And it's gonna happen. It's not when. It could be next year. It could be 10 years from now. But what I do know is that the agenda they have is the what's called the 2030 agenda, the World Economic Agenda. They have by 2030 they want all AI and they want digital cash and they want all electric cars. That right there is pretty much like slavery, because like one of the only freedoms that I have that I enjoy is being able to get in my car and get the hell out of the house whenever I'm having like, you know, some stress or anxiety. You can just drive and have a good day and you know, get the stress out. But to the point where it's going to be controlled by a grid, that's just crazy.
And then think about if the grid goes down,
like iRobot, you know what I mean? Like
think about if the grid goes down, Enrique, what happens then? All this stuff is worthless, right? And Trump was at the World Economic Forum. Well, he wasn't there, but he was speaking on the monitor to everybody, and he said some really incredible things. And he did call out Bank of America, saying that he really thought it was an insult that you wouldn't do business with conservatives, that we're breaking down people in categories, that banks will only do business with certain people. I thought we were past that, but apparently not. So I'm glad he called them out. And he said, look, basically, he's putting America first. He talked about the immigration issue here, that these people are going back, that we're done paying for everybody, and that America is just done being a floor mat to the rest of the world. And, you know, that these wars have to end. And he just said a lot of really, really incredible things yesterday. So I thought it was positive, hopeful. But remember, he's just a man. And one man is not going to fix all the problems that have been created here for decades. And we could go way beyond 2008. But 2008 is when the wheels really came off of this economy. And we printed so much money and created so much inflation that there's no way Trump can just fix this in 4 years. He can get us back on track, but this is going to be a problem that is going to be going on for many, many years. But if we do not get back on track, this country is in very, very big trouble. And if people didn't have credit cards right now, they would be SOL.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about credit? We've talked about credit cards, so like we know a lot of people just living on credit right now, driving cars, living on the credit cards.
Terrible. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do if I live like that. I can't even think about living like that.
I don't know how people sleep. I couldn't imagine.
I can't imagine living like that.
I couldn't imagine. And you deal with it every day.
I deal with it every day. You know, I deal with it every day. Got a lot of people I talk to all the time.
People make $5,000 a month and they spend $4,900 of it on junk, and they save $100 for themselves.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I see it all the time.
Then the rest goes on a credit card.
Yeah, I mean, you could use credit cards responsibly. For most people, they don't have that tenacity and that discipline to be able to use credit cards responsibly. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm going to get rewards and, you know, I'm banking on all these travel flights, but how much are you paying on them interest and annual fees and all that? So it has to make economic sense for you to do it. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they use the credit cards like an emergency, right? So they don't have an emergency fund. Their emergency fund are the credit cards. And then the credit cards, they run them up, they can't pay them, and it just becomes a never-ending cycle of just topping them off, paying them down a little bit, and then topping them off again.
So living an illusion with money they don't have at 23 to 30%. This ends bad for a lot of people, and this is what the United States of America has been doing for many, many years. And I just don't see how you just get out of this without feeling severe pain.
Yeah, exactly. And so that gives us an indication of where this world is heading to. It's just more and more debt, more and more inflation. As all of these natural disasters are going to require a lot more money pouring into these projects, that's going to bring inflation higher. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very severely impacted because now they have to go look for rent, right? Different places, and that rent is going to be higher. So everything is just a spiral. It's a loop, right? So eventually it just gets out of control.
So as a coach here, Coach Lionel, as a business owner, what's your recommendation for just the average person right now, you know, making money, got a job? I would say do whatever you do, don't lose your job. But what would your advice be as a business owner, as a coach? I know you tell us every day, don't quit. What would your advice be to the average person out there just hustling right now?
Just save money and don't buy dumb stuff. It's pretty much simple. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Don't go out and eat at restaurants you can't afford. Don't buy shoes you can't afford. Stop buying Jordan. Stop buying dumb shit to impress other people that don't care. That's my mentality behind it, and that is what I see in the world. I see a lot of people pretending to look rich because they want to impress other people. They're going broke trying to impress other people, pretty much. It's insane to me. Whether people want to believe it or not, America has a culture of vanity and narcissism.
No doubt.
And no matter how you can get offended by it, but it's a fact. Look at the advertisements, look at TV, look at the magazines, look at your phone. Everything's vanity. Everyone's look at me. And that's one thing that costs a lot of money, is to look perfect all the time. I think that's the biggest waste of money is buying shit you don't need.
I think that's great advice. Sometimes the most simple advice is the best advice. And I agree 100%. And I would say, do not get complacent. And if we're early in the year here, you need to be working out. You need to be taking care of yourself. You need to be adding skill sets. You know, it's great to work out, but if you don't have purpose, utility, if you don't know how to protect yourself, defend yourself, your family. When we were in LA, a lot of weird stuff going on in LA. I was just happy that you know that we do box, we do jiu-jitsu, we do carry, all those things. So you know, be the hardest person in the room to kill, and don't get complacent. Be training. Take care of your body. It is the temple. And to the Christians out there, what should the Christians be doing right now? Because a lot of them have been doing nothing.
Discernment, praying and discernment. Discernment just means look at what's going on and try to have your own opinion and not follow the sheep, I would say.
Don't be the sheep. Don't be the sheep.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing out there leading their congregations.
It's called the Vatican.
Their congregations, their churches. And look, there's good Catholic churches, good priests, good churches out there, Baptist, Protestant, whatever. But so many have become so corporate, so 501c3.
Well, the Vatican just passed that law January 10th of this year to allow same-sex priesthood. And then if you guys saw the speech with Donald Trump, he had to listen to that lesbian transgender bishop, which is a Catholic bishop, which the Vatican appointed. I'm not saying all Catholic churches are bad, but the Vatican is doing some things that just go against everything that's moral in the Bible. Period.
So stay close to God, be praying, and walk the walk. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. And there's a lot of, again, wolves in sheep clothing out there, misleading their congregations, misleading the churches. So stay on the path. Nobody's perfect. I'm certainly not a saint or an angel, but I'm trying to do better every day with you know, my diet, my training, walking, you know, closer to God, just getting more fiscally responsible and prepared. All of that across the board. You have to be multi-dimensional.
Yeah. Well, I agree. You know, it's very important for you to always invest in yourself. Number one, stop buying stuff you don't need. Number two, and continue to improve yourself every way you can. So we are going to go ahead and leave this video here. Again, thank you, Lionel, for being on the video.
Follow me on Sabbath at Midnight on YouTube and on Spotify, Sabbath at Midnight. If you want to learn more about the Bible, conspiracies, aliens, angelic beings, demonic entities, witchcraft, the occult, you name it.
Yeah. Link down below.
Yeah,
link down below. Don't forget, link down below.
Yeah, link down below. I'll go ahead and make sure to include that. And so again, nice Friday morning. Continue to improve on yourself. We will continue to provide good videos that will make you guys better people. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Have a great weekend.